Hi artists, hope everybody's doing well. Today we are going to be making a castle inspired by the artist Paul Klee. I hope that you had a chance to watch the video about Paul Klee and see some of the paintings that he has done. He was an amazing artist and he did a lot of abstract artwork, which means pictures that don't look like anything real. He used a lot of geometric shapes in his artwork, and that is going to be our inspiration, or he is going to be our inspiration for our castles that we are going to be making today. So let's get started. All right, so this is a little reproduction that I have of a painting by Paul Klee called Castle and Sun. And if you'll notice, it's got a lot of geometric shapes in it. It's got a lot of triangles, squares, there's a circle, which is the sun. There are rectangles. So we are going to use a lot of geometric shapes for our castle since we are going to be doing it in the style of Paul Klee. So let's go ahead and get started on that. You are going to need a piece of paper and a pencil and a Sharpie to get started today. All right, so I suggest that you start with pencil. I'm gonna just go ahead and start this with a Sharpie since it's easier for you to see, but I would suggest doing it with a pencil and then you can go over it with a Sharpie just in case you make a mistake or you wanna change something. So the first step is you are going to draw, and you can either do this in the vertical position or the horizontal position. You know what, I think I'm gonna do this one in the horizontal position because the first one that I did was in the vertical position. Well, I take it back. I'm gonna do it this way. I might make another one later in the horizontal position. But I'm gonna start out by making rectangles going all the way across my paper. So, and I want them to be in different sizes. So I'm not even making a line on the edge. The edge is just going to be considered the edge of my rectangle. Okay, and I'm using my ruler so that I can get my line straight. Okay, and now I'm gonna make a rectangle next to it, and I'm using this line as part of my second rectangle. Maybe make that one a little bit thinner than the first one. Okay, and if you want, you can make a rectangle overlapping. So if I wanted to do that, I would just start on the top of the rectangle that came before it. Okay, and then my last one, I'm just gonna do like this. Okay, so there is the front of my castle, my 4 rectangles. Now I'm going to put geometric shapes on the top of each rectangle. So I'm gonna put a triangle there. Another triangle on the top of this one. Maybe a dome on the top of this one. That's not really, you can do a few non-geometric shapes to make it interesting if you want to, because this is not geometric. So, but that's fine. And then this might, let's see, I'm gonna make this another triangle. And it's okay if it, you know, it kind of looks like this line should be hidden, but that's okay because this is very abstractish. So it's not really going to look like a real castle, so that's okay. All right, now that I've got my tops, did I start my video? Yes, okay. Now that I've got the tops, I am going to go down each rectangle and make more geometric shapes. So, and you can do that by even just creating lines. So I'm gonna make some lines, and then now I've created 4 triangles. And then maybe some lines going like this. So I've got a rectangle. There we go. And then maybe triangle like this. All right, so I'm done with the first one. Now I'm gonna move on to the second one, and I think I'm gonna make a circle right there. All right, so I'm gonna put this on, well, I'll do a few more and then I'll pause it. And you, like I said, you can make some sections that are not geometric shapes. You can just make lines or an organic shape if you want, but remember, geometric shapes are shapes that have names like triangles, circles, squares, rectangles, and so on. Diamonds. So you want it to be mostly geometric, but it doesn't have to all be geometric. Okay, and then you're gonna continue on. This one I've already finished. Oh, you know what? I wanted to show you one more thing. Okay, once you get finished with all of your lines and your shapes inside of the rectangles, you know what? I'm gonna pause this and then I'll come back when I'm done. I have finished drawing it out, and now if you want, you can make something in the back, like behind the front part of the castle. So to do that, I'm just gonna make a line like this, and then on top of that, I'll put these. It kind of looks like maybe a little wall on top or behind the main part of the castle. Can do one over here too. You don't have to do this, but you can if you want. And then I'm going to make my moon over here. And your sky, I didn't leave a lot of room for my sky. You could make your buildings a little bit shorter, and that way you will have more room for your sky, but you don't have to. Okay, so there we go. After you have finished doing it with a pencil, you might want to go over it with a Sharpie or a black crayon. And the next step is we are going to paint this. So let me pause this again so I can get my material. Okay, so I've already started painting mine. What I did was I started with yellow, and I went through and I painted any of the sections yellow that I wanted to paint yellow. That way I don't have to keep rinsing my brush every time. Then I rinsed my brush and I moved on to orange. Then I rinsed my brush and went on to red. Now I am on purple, so I'm just going through and choosing sections that I want to be painted purple. And I'm just gonna keep going through all of my colors. I'm not gonna do brown and black. I'm just gonna do the primary colors and the secondary colors. So red, yellow, and blue, which are the primary colors, and purple, green, and orange, which are the secondary colors. So when I'm done, I will be back. All right, I am now done painting it. And if you want, I have some metallic crayons that I was kind of making some lines over the paint. It's still a little wet, so I'm gonna wait until it's completely dry before I do any more. But if you do want to do that, if you want to add some details over the paint with crayon, or the metallic crayons look really nice because they're sparkly, it's up to you. Anyway, I hope you had fun with it. Share it on Google Classroom, please, so you can get credit for it. And if you want to share it on Flipgrid, that would be awesome too. All right, bye guys.